This Philips Ultrawide is a rather impressive 3440 by 1440 VA panel display. It can technically run up to 100Hz, has AMD's FreeSync technology, and it's actually really pretty nice to look at, so let's take a look at it. So as I mentioned, this is a 3440 by 1440 panel. It is 100Hz and it has AMD's FreeSync technology, so it actually makes it very similar to the AOC Aegon monitor, with the only real difference being that this is less of a gaming style monitor, and also this one has FreeSync, whereas the AOC model has G-Sync. To do a quick tour of the monitor itself, obviously you have a rather thin bezel around the front, although the bottom bezel is pretty large. You do have a rather interesting stand with actually taking up a lot less footprint than a lot of other stands do, which is quite nice, although it is a little bit on the strange side, sort of a V shape with these metal legs. You do actually have a lot of adjustability, both in height adjust and tilt as well, and there's a fair range of tilt as well, so that's also nice to see. On the back you have a rather white glossy aesthetic, which it's the back of the monitor, so it's not too bad, and you do also have your I/O back there. In terms of I/O, you do have two HDMI ports total, one on the USB 3.0 hub side, and obviously the USB 3 hub, as well as another one next to the display port and the DC in and audio jacks. The monitor likely uses a fairly similar panel to a lot of the other 3440 by 1440 VA panels, and they do still have all of the same sort of rough issues, a little bit on the input latency side, a little bit of ghosting, and a little bit of kind of just blurriness and a sort of weird parallaxing on the edges depending on what angle you're looking at it from. With that said, the monitor is pretty color accurate, at least to my eye anyway. Unfortunately, I still don't have a color tester or color calibrator to give you an exact idea of how well the monitor would do for, you know, color sensitive applications, but in terms of viewing angles, I was actually really impressed with this. Being a VA panel, normally they don't have perfect viewing angles, but this one is pretty impressive, both side to side and from top and bottom as well. But obviously you do have that tilt adjust, so it's not too much of an issue, but still nice to have that high quality panel available. Now, of course, Philips are marketing this monitor more as a standard office monitor or something that you might want to do creativity or productivity work on, rather than specifically just gaming. So I do want to just kind of talk through that, and my experience is that especially for more productivity based applications, ultrawides are very nice, and this one does a really good job. Obviously, being the higher end resolution for ultrawides, 3440 and not 2560 by 1080, this is actually really very nice. It's also great for just general content consumption. All the content that's shot in 21 by 9 fits perfectly on these these monitors, and especially again with that higher resolution and this nice quality panel, it does look very good to watch. Now, of course, I'm generally someone who covers more gaming oriented technology, so I did have to play a few games on this, and I was generally pretty impressed. The fact that you can run this at 100Hz and having AMD's FreeSync technology with an RX 480 powering the system that's under this table right now is quite nice. It's a very smooth experience. It's an enjoyable experience nonetheless, although as I said, Philips aren't necessarily aiming this at the gaming market. Now, to compare this to some of the other ultra-wide 3440 monitors in even a similar price range, it's certainly very nice. I don't know necessarily that it fits its price bracket. At the time of filming, and this may change, and obviously where you are will also change, it's currently £750 odd in the UK, so it makes it quite an expensive monitor. There are several LG monitors that are actually IPS, and while they may not have 100Hz capabilities, especially if this is aimed at being a color accurate monitor that's great for productivity work and stuff like that, the IPS models are probably going to be a little bit better for that. And as said, the IPS models are even more than 100 quid cheaper in basically all cases, so makes it a little bit confusing who this is targeted to. Even when comparing to gaming models of the similar sort of form factor, same 34-inch monitor, same sort of 3440 by 1440, 100Hz, FreeSync or G-Sync, something like that. Even comparing to those sorts of kind of specifications, you're often looking at either a similar or even sometimes lower price for this style of monitor, which again just leaves me a little bit confused as to where this is really aimed at. If you can find a good deal on this monitor, I think you'd be very happy happy if you did pick it up. It's a very nice quality monitor, it's well built. The stand is incredibly wobbly, I do kind of want to mention that. The overall shake is kind of insane, but it's very easy to put together with a just single button on the back, like a lot of the Dell Ultrawides. The actual panel itself is very nice, and I think if you're using it for mainly productivity and content consumption use, I think you'd be very, very happy with it. And if you're using it for gaming use as well, I think you'd be still pretty happy with it, even if it's not, you know, the perfect gaming monitor. It's still pretty nice for that too. When it comes to scoring for me, this is going to be a 3.55 money. I think it's just a bit too expensive for what it's kind of offering. In terms of performance though, it's going to be a 4.5, and in terms of functionality, I'm going to go with a 4.5 as well. In terms of styling, it is actually pretty nice. I kind of like the minimalist aesthetics. There's going to be a 4.5 here, and I think a 4 for TechteamGB score and a silver award. It's an impressive monitor. The panel is very nice to look at, but at the same time, I'm not quite too sure where it's meant to sit in the world and kind of who it's really aimed at. So yeah, I think that's about that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the monitor in the comments down below. Is this something that you'd be interested in picking up for yourself? And if so, what would you use it for? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you want to know any more about the monitor, take a look at pricing, when and where you watch this, take a look at the link in the description down below. That'll hopefully take you to the local Amazon store where you can find out pricing for you. Otherwise, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, feel free to take a look at the Patreon link in the description down below, or the merch link too if you fancy, or also stuff like Amazon and Overclockers UK affiliate links, which also massively help me out when you use those links buying from those places. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, take a look at the other videos that are over here for you. And otherwise, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.